Welcome to a Skewed Chimp.
I have everything laid out in front of you that goes with the Tormek T8 system, which I did an unboxing video for a little while ago. But today I'm going to try to put it together and see how good their instructions are. So let me get some stuff rearranged. What's laid out in front of the camera right now is everything that came in the box. But let me get some stuff rearranged and we'll go through step by step and see how good their instructions are. So the first thing the instructions said to do was to attach the stone, which it's a reverse nut on here. So you have to turn it backwards and take the packing plastic off without taking this off, which is fairly easy. I did that, okay. And then it says to take the rod, or take the rock, the stone, and place it on here. And it actually is a tight little fit. That's a piece of styrofoam. And then screw this on again. And remember, it's backwards, so not lefty-loosey, it's lefty-tighty. And then just put it on there a little bit snug, and then the natural turning of the tool, of the sharpener, will torque it to the correct torque. So you don't have to even worry about that. Just kind of leave it on there. And, whoa, don't do that. That's how you loosen it, by the way. If you need to take this off, you just turn it, and then this will come off. But, yeah. So, anyway, yeah, I guess that followed the instructions pretty easy. Hell, I can do that. The instructions say that the next thing you should do is remove the honing wheel, which is pretty easy to do, and it just pops right off, and check this wheel to make sure that the rubber that's on it is not covered in filth, like either from the styrofoam for being shipped or from dust over time or whatever. This one looks pretty good to me. Like, I've inspected it already, and there's not a whole lot of debris or anything on it that I think is going to get in the way. So I think that it's in pretty good shape. But if you do need to clean it, you use sandpaper, and this is 24 grit that I chose. Now, Tormek didn't tell you what size to use, but it looked like it was about 24. And just kind of rough up the wheel a little bit to help renew it and freshen it up and get the dust and debris out of it, just to make sure that it grips well. But I don't think I need to do that in this case. So, in order to put this wheel back on, you can see that there are little holes on here, and there are little holes that I hope you can see, like right here and here and here, and they all line up together. So putting the wheel back on is pretty simple. You just line it up and turn it a little. Oh, I got it in there on the first try. There we go. So it's locked in place. And then tighten this back up, and you're good to go. So, that easy. Okay, so the next step that I'm supposed to perform is, if you guys remember from the unboxing video, or if I show it to you, is the Tormek leather honing wheel oil. So that goes on. The instructions said to turn the machine on, which I've never had this on before, so I've plugged it in and it's going to be on for the first time ever. I hope there's nothing that I needed to take out of it or anything that I didn't know about. I don't think so. I think that works. So there you go. You're supposed to put 2/3 of this oil, 2/3 of this tube or so, on this wheel. I'll tell you right now, I'm going to be overly generous because I don't think this stuff is expensive, and I'd rather have too much than not enough. So I'll probably err on the side of caution. But first, I've got to clip the lid off of this because it's sealed. There you go. So, okay, so I cut the lid off so I can squirt it out, and you just turn it on and put it on the wheel until it's nice and coated. 2/3 about. Am I supposed to be rubbing this in while I do this? I think so. Well, actually, they didn't show rubbing it in the video. They just showed putting it on really thick. I would imagine it spreads out on its own. It wouldn't hurt, though, if I rubbed it in a little bit. Let's do this. There we go. Let's get a little on the sides. I like how quiet it is. I suppose I could do this more quickly, huh? Supposed to use a lot of it. I'm going to let that kind of soak in for a little bit, and then I might put more on, but that's quite a lot. I feel like that has gotten the leather. Okay, so it's had some time to kind of soak in, and it looks like it's soaked in pretty good. It's not as gooey anymore, and I think I used at least 2/3 of it too. So yeah, that's that step. So next you're supposed to get the actual honing compound, which is this stuff, the honing compound. And you're supposed to put a full bead of this on the wheel as well. Okay, so I'm going to just put a bead on real slow. And I presume that's about a bead. That's what it showed in the video that I watched. And again, I think too much is better than too little. So I'm going to, I'm not doing it right. I'll tell you, in the video, the guy that did it probably had a little bit more practice than I did, and he was probably a lot better at it than I am. Jesus. This is not the fault of the gel or anything, guys. This is definitely user error, just so you know. So it's not like it's not working. It's that I'm a tool with a tool. I think that's about a bead's worth, don't you guys think? Crap. I think so. Okay, and then you're supposed to turn it on. And kind of, oh God, that is really thick. Oh Jesus. I don't know if I was supposed to do that much of it. That's horrible. Oh look, I got it all over the place. Look, it's flipping. God. Maybe I should have put this on, maybe. Oh God, it's throwing everywhere. I got it all over my boots. And that looks okay. So I got a lot of leftover and a lot of waste, and it's messy as all get out. I have made a mess. Oh. Wow, what a mess. It's all over the machine and everything. So I'm going to do some cleanup, but that's set up, I think. I need to figure out how to get more of the stuff onto the wheel and off of my tool, but yeah, okay. Okay, so we got it kind of cleaned up. It's messy. It's a tool. It's going to get dirty, so I guess I just need to accept that. I probably put too much of it on there to get started, but at least I'd rather go too much than too little. So there you go. Not that hard. I just didn't know what I was doing. There we go. Okay, I checked with the instruction video, and I put way too much honing compound on, but that's okay. Too much is better than too little, so it'll get worked in. No big deal. Okay, the next thing to do is attach the water basin, which is just this. But you can see that there's 2 feet right here and right there. Feet that it hooks into with the little legs on the bottom of the basin, and it just slides right in. Next, by pushing in on this button and turning it either up or down, it lowers or raises the water basin, which should be in the 3rd position from the bottom. So 1, 2, 3 here. And then you simply fill it with water, and the stone will absorb the water, and then you're ready to turn. The one thing that it does warn you about is not to get the basin too high so that the stone is not grinding through the bottom of your basin. There's plenty of room here for me. I'm not worried about that. Could even go higher, really. And then you can keep raising it even higher if you want to get, as the stone wears down and gets smaller, you can continue to raise the basin so you make sure that you can saturate the whole thing, which I actually like. I like that a lot. I don't actually have to sharpen anything right now. All of my tools are very sharp. So that's essentially it. Now when I'm ready to turn, I can fill, when I need to sharpen something rather, I can fill this with water, the wheel is primed, and I can just get to town on it. I already have a bunch of jigs and I know how to use them. I've used other sharpeners before, so I think I know how to set them up. Managed to figure out what this thing was for. It's supposed to go in here on the side if you've got something that's let me get this in here correctly. If you've got a tool that's really long and for some reason needs to come this far out, then as it drips the water off, it gets caught on here and gets put back into the basin. So that's what that's for. I don't actually have any tools that require that right now. I might have some knives later that require this, but it's kind of a neat thing anyway. So that's what that is. Okay, so some of you might recall this piece from when I did the unboxing, and it's just a odd little magnet on a little scraper thing, and I don't know if anybody really cares or not, but as it turns out, there is a spot on the bottom of the basin that matches the shape of this piece, and it just goes right in here and then locks in place as a magnet. And then what it does is, as you are sharpening your chisels, the metal will come down near the magnet. The magnet will collect it and get it off of the stone a little bit and help keep all of the shavings towards this side of the basin so that it doesn't get picked up again and put back on the wheel and come back around and grind steel on steel, which doesn't actually help you sharpen. And then of course it's also easier to clean it up if all of the steel shavings are in one place. And then this is the same width as the bottom of the basin to help you scrape it all out when you're done and it's time to clean up. The only part that's really left is the mounting of the tool support. Which is that easy. That's how it goes on, and then you'll need to adjust things using the angle finders that came with the device. The angle finders that came with the device, or whatever other jigs and measurements that you use, depending on what you're trying to sharpen up. They did show in the instruction video how to use the grater. This is the grater tool, and I don't need to grate it right now. It's fresh out of the box and pretty smooth. I might need to flatten the level off the stone, but I don't think so. But in any case, I do know how to use the grater. It's relatively easy. It's not that difficult to use, but I don't need to use it currently. So that's all that you really need to know to get started, except for how to actually use the jigs to sharpen the chisels that you're trying to sharpen. Now, thankfully, like I said, this is not my first sharpening system, and I do know how to use the jigs, and I know how to sharpen the chisels. So at least, I'm okay at it. So we're ready to go. It's not that hard. I like that.